All right, let's see how this goes. Hello everyone. Thank you for joining me on this rapid fire Q&A. I asked you to drop 10 questions and you really came through with an incredible 21 amazing questions in total. I'm excited and decided. Check. All right, I'm gonna try this one more time. I was almost done with this 30 minute video answering questions and my microphone had died and I didn't know, so we're doing this again. Let's go. All right, hello everyone. Thank you for joining me on this basically rapid fire Q&A. I asked you to drop 10 questions and you really came through with an amazing, incredible 21 questions in total. I'm excited and I decided to go through them all in this video. So let's get started. Robert Drummond says, do you think Cybertruck 2.0 refresh will be equipped with a minimum 500-mile range? Well, I sure hope that eventually we will have a Cybertruck with more range. I really don't think we will see a 500-mile range soon, but hopefully with improved battery energy density, I can see a 400 to 450-mile range Cybertruck in the horizon. Sean asked, this is not really a question, but Sean said, name your top 3 hardware design changes you'd like to see in the Cybertruck. Okay, that's a good one. First, I would like to see a sliding door on the rear glass to get access to the truck bed area so I could roll down my windows and let the air flow through. But also to be able to send hot or cold air from the cabin to the bed area for camping, basically. Second, I would like to see bumpers with better clearance. The approach and departure angles could be better, especially the departure angle. The rear bumper is very low and I can touch the ground when going up or coming down steep obstacles. The third one for me would be an original rear view mirror monitor to improve the view looking behind the truck. Yes, there are current solutions like the screen image, it works, but even aftermarket options like the one I installed make it better. But I think that if Tesla replaces the tiny useless mirror they have for something that can actually tap into the camera that's already there, it would make it much better. The next one is from Six Silverstones. What's your least favorite Tesla model? Well, I really feel like it's almost a trick question, this one, because I don't really have like a least favorite model, but based strictly on the criteria to pick one, maybe one of my most favorite is also my least favorite, and I'm talking about the Model X. I love that car. The Model X is incredible because it's unique and it has some really, really great features. But at the same time, from what I've seen, is the one that tends to go to Tesla service the most. I think it's a little bit too delicate, especially those Falcon Wing doors. I do, however, have friends like Sandro that lives in his Model X full time, and he's actually now driving his Model X through the entire Pan American Highway. He's driving from Alaska all the way to the southernmost part of South America, and it has been fine for him. So, but you know, based strictly on that criteria, that I have to see the Model X being the most serviced one, I would say that would probably be my least favorite of them all. If not for that, it would be a great vehicle for me. But yeah, that's just me. Anyway, Armando Roman is asking, what are the best EV tires for Model Y all-wheel drive or in general? Well, I feel like the tires that Tesla includes on each model, they tend to be the ones that provide the best range. They really work closely with the manufacturers to come up with a tire compound that is long-lasting and efficient. Whenever I see an option to pick different OEM tires, I stay away from the Pirelli tires. The Michelin and Goodyears that Tesla uses are the best in my opinion. For off-roading, I have Nitto Rich Grappler tires on my Model Y, but Tesla doesn't sell those. So I would stick with the ones that they include, really. I know that Armando did not ask for Cybertruck tires, but since we're talking about tires, and I'm on my Cybertruck right behind me, I think for the Cybertruck, I prefer the range inefficient but awesome off-road tire, the BF Goodrich KO3. that's my go-to tire with them. Now the next one is from Aaron Cash. He's asking, what's the one improvement that you would like to see in the Cybertruck? I would have to say, although I can manage just fine with the range, I think more range for sure. This is especially true for towing long distances. Pulling like an Airstream, for example, like the one that my son owns, which is only a 22-foot long Airstream, it maxes out at around 120 miles with no elevation gains. And honestly, that's just too little range, especially if there is not a charging station at the max range that you have, then you have to stop sooner to make it to the next one. So probably range, definitely. Let's see, Tesla Cowboy is asking, are you planning a South America trip? Well, I have been considering a trip to South America through, Central and the entirety of South America. But although my friend Sandro is doing it right now, for me in the Cybertruck, which is the one that I would love to make it in, I feel like the risk is very high in terms of our safety. The challenge of little to no charging infrastructure in some places, to me, is not the biggest problem, because we can always find electricity somewhere, we can figure out some solar solution. For me, I think we could do it in a Cybertruck, but only spending quite a bit of money to ensure our safety, just because the Cybertruck calls for so much attention. And there are stories of things that happen in South America, in some countries, and in Central America, when people think that you have a lot of money, so I don't want to risk that. We'll see if that happens in the future or not. It would be better in my Model Y to go through South America, but I'm not sure I'm ready to take on that risk just yet. I wish my friend Sandro to remain safe and continue on his journey through the Pan American Highway, and I look forward to sharing his stories. Maybe one day soon I will take on the challenge, so let's see what happens. There's still a lot of places like here in the US that we can explore and do some really awesome adventures. So yeah, that's what I have about that. So Duderson is asking, how many Teslas is too many Teslas to own? Well, hard to tell. For me right now, I have 3 and I feel like I have 1 too many. The main reason I have 3 is because the prices have dropped so much that I have not been able to sell my Model 3 Performance, for example, which has been, and that car has a brand new battery pack and only a bit over 69,000 miles. So maybe 1 per driver is the max that I think you should have, because you're not always with your significant other, so each one of you should at least have a car. Some people have 5, even though they're single. I don't know. It's up to you, really. It depends on your needs and your affordability. I think that's the most important part. If FSD was level 5 already, then the car could be making money. But for example, my Model 3 is on hardware 3, so it won't be capable unless Tesla updates the hardware. So right now, I have it paid off, parked, unregistered, and uninsured, and no one cares. It's just hidden there. Anyway, let's go to the next one. Cybertruck Wagon Sandeep, I think that's the name, says, what are the best tires for Cybertruck for max efficiency around the city? Okay, so when it comes to highway efficiency on the Cybertruck, although I'm not a Pirelli user of tires, and I stay away from them whenever I can, apparently the Pirelli Scorpion ATR tires that are included with the core wheels are the most efficient in terms of range. So how much distance you can cover. I would say that would be the answer. If you don't care about the range, then you could use the BF Goodrich KO3s like the ones I have. AJ Varhen Alexander says, what incidents proved to you that Cybertruck is super reliable? For example, something that could have gone wrong but didn't, or was a non-issue. Well, in my case, although I have an early Foundation Series Cybertruck, I haven't had any problems while doing trips or off-roading really. I was always concerned about having an air suspension, taking the truck off-roading so much, but the suspension has proven to be very reliable, so I would have to say the air suspension for sure. Let's see the next one. Grey Wolf Timber says, do you still sell the Arctic Expedition Cybertruck t-shirts? Yes, our expedition shirts are still available, and you can get them at arcticcybertruck.com. The link is right there. The next one is from our friend, the Cybertruck guy, or Troy. He's saying, what vehicles have you traveled with before the Cybertruck? Well, I've always been a traveler, right? In the past, I would do my road trips on a Dodge Caravan, my Mazda Speed 3, a Jeep, then my two Model 3s, my long-range Model Y. I mean, those are the extent of the trips, cars that I've used here in the United States. Rock Terno says, what's your favorite tequila? I'm not sure what that has to do with the video, but it's fair game, right? I said, ask me any questions. So my favorite tequila probably should be, I don't know, let me think. Maybe Clase Azul or Don Julio Reposado, but since they're pretty expensive, it's usually Hornitos, 1800, or Cuervo Gold. Those are like my go-to. So we have a Spanish question. This is good. The question in Spanish is, and I'm going to repeat it in English, is coming from Manu116. Un simple mortal, ¿cómo le haces para costear tantas modificaciones? De todas las cybers que sigo, la tuya es mi favorita. Cuando tenga la mía, la quiero poner parecida a la tuya. Okay, so Manu is asking, how do you pay for so many modifications of all the Cybertrucks I follow? Yours is my favorite. Even when I get mine, I want to make it similar to yours. Well, I will respond in Spanish first and then give you the translated version in English. La mayoría de mis accesorios no son muy caros por el momento. Tengo auspiciadores que me han dado algunos productos como el rack de aventura y la caseta, pero la mayoría de las cosas que tengo en total no suman más de $5,000. Me alegra mucho saber que te gustan mis modificaciones y espero que algún día tengas tu camioneta pronto. Okay? Well, let's do it now in English. The answer is, well, let me remind you of the question first. The question was, how do you pay for so many modifications? I love your Cybertruck and I want to build mine just like yours. Well, most of my accessories aren't very expensive right now. I have sponsors who have given me some of the products like the adventure rack and the rooftop tent, but most of the stuff that I added doesn't total more than $5,000. Maybe $6,000 or $7,000 at the most, so it depends on your budget. I am very happy to hear you like my modifications, and I hope that you get your own Cybertruck one day soon. All right, let's go to the next one. Royce Young is saying, in your opinion, what would be the perfect max range for the all-wheel drive Cybertruck? Well, like I said earlier on this video, I would be okay with a 400 to 450 mile range Cybertruck as a minimum final range, because especially towing, if you don't need to tow, the additional range is still very much welcome. So I don't know, I think that is essentially the biggest modification that I would like to see in the Cybertruck, because so many people need to use the Cybertruck for trailers. Let's see, Michael Fan says, will there be another Arctic trek? And will it be possible to have more than 10 Cybertrucks going together? There is a really good chance that we will go all the way north again, but having more than 2 Cybertrucks would add to the complexities and waiting, since there's basically no charging infrastructure beyond Dawson City. It's not really impossible, but 10 Cybertrucks at the same time would be pretty bad, at least until there are better charging options. The next one comes from the Tesla Life. How is the wear and tear on the Cybertruck? Do you notice it? Well, in my opinion, tire wear on the Cybertruck is normal when compared to any other cars. Drive aggressive and pay the price, just like with any car. So the tire compounds are made to match and withstand the weight of each application. There's like really no difference. In terms of other stuff, wear and tear, the vehicle itself is solid. I really have no complaints. And I have an upcoming video, because we are right now sitting at over 78,000 miles, and I'm going to make a video of 75,000 miles on the Cybertruck, similar to the one that I did after we did 50,000 miles. Let's go to the next one. Ken Hunt says, Cybertruck sales plateaued. I've been waiting for higher production, more refined before getting one. What improvements have you seen or are aware of from the early builds? I think the newer builds are mainly different in two things only: better tolerances on the interior and the improved powertrain hardware. Those are basically the main improvements. Not as much creaking in the beginning. My Cybertrucks have some creaks, and although they fixed it right away, I hear that the new ones don't suffer from that stuff. They're getting better at building them. I don't think there's anything else that I can remember. The next one is Mr. Timer 2022 CJP the Panda, Chris. What is your favorite supercharger location that you have ever used and why? Well, this will sound strange, but my favorite supercharger location probably has nothing to do with the views or nearby amenities. When we returned from the Arctic Ocean trip up north, I felt an amazing joy when we were back at the Prince George Superchargers. As much as the Tesla supercharger network is liked and enjoyed by many, many thousands of people, I feel even better once you realize how bad the other North American EV charging options are. So, in my opinion, this is my personal opinion because of my experience, the Prince George supercharger was the one that brought me the most joy because I had been traveling to the Arctic and back without any superchargers. Cyber Mike OG is asking, what is the one feature you wish Tesla had included in the Cybertruck that you hope gets added in the refresh? First of all, I don't know if we're going to have a true refresh of the Cybertruck, but like I said before, the sliding door on the rear glass, better approach and departure angles, and an OEM rear view monitor tied to the existing camera. Josh Hazel is asking, what is your favorite feature or accessory on your Cybertruck or why? And why? So I think that from the things that I have added to it, the fridge that I have in the front between the two front seats, and the rear view monitor that I added, and my adventure rack from Urander. That's basically it. I think probably almost like them all equally. Maybe I like the rack a little bit more. I don't know. Well, yeah, that's the answer to that. Gary Mark, Blue Sky Kites says, will you drive to Mexico soon? I am hoping to visit Mexico on my Cybertruck soon. In fact, I was going to go during this trip, but I have a lot going on, so only time will tell. Well, that is the full extent of the list. Thank you so much for all the questions. I hope you like this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe with notifications turned on, and I hope you come back for the next one. Take care, everybody. Hasta luego. Ciao.